Jedi Survivor got yet another patch, now it's patch 9, and this one seems to be one of the big ones. Frame rate improvements, all that good stuff. So can we now play it on Steam Deck? Well, it's still unsupported due to performance. So I think it's a good time to give it another shot, so we hit play. It's going to go through the EA Games launcher. Yeah, unfortunately it still does have that, so you got to get through that. The EA app, better said. And let's wait for the game to load. Alright, so in the options menu we have multiple resolutions to choose from. Let's stay on native for now. Everything on the lowest. Performance FSR2. We also have ultra performance, but let's leave that for later. There's also an HDR option, which I'm not going to use until handheld. So yeah, lowest settings. In the menu we got 22 FPS, so this gotta be good. So let's go into the game. Alright, welcome back to Jedi Survivor patch 9. If you guys remember, this game came out last year. Now it's on the PS4 and Xbox One as well. But one of the things that an issue that this patch added on low VRAM GPUs, as an example, is that there's now texture streaming issues. So if you don't have a lot of VRAM, it's going to have low quality textures on when you load the map. Some things won't load properly. In the case of the Steam Deck, since it's allocating RAM, the system RAM to use as VRAM, it should be okay in that front. But as you can see, we're using, again, remember that the Steam Deck has 16 gigabytes of RAM. And when it comes to those 16 gigabytes, it's shared to be used as a RAM and VRAM. So right now we're using 9.8 gigabytes of RAM and 5.5 of VRAM. So we're using all the memory because again it's shared. We only have 16 gigs. 10 gigs are being used for the game and the rest of the memory is being used as VRAM. And well, in this level, as you can see, we're below 30, very far away from 30 actually.
Sorry.
And we're on performance FSR. So very quickly, let's try ultra performance, just to make sure we tested everything. Ultra performance, which again is not a resolution I would use to play the game. And performance is basically the same, but the resolution is significantly lower. Not sure if the game actually allows us to go below performance FSR actually. It says ultra performance, but the pixel count doesn't seem to be that far away. It doesn't look like ultra performance FSR actually. So I think at a certain resolution is going to cap your resolution so you don't go that low. Yeah, it looks almost the same. Ultra performance, just to give you some reference, it's like 3 times less resolution. So you'll basically see the pixelation on everything. But now textures are loading out a little bit better. But another thing that I noticed in this patch when playing on PC was that the RAM usage was insanely high. I got up to 22 gigabytes of RAM usage on my PCs. My PCs have 32 gigabytes of RAM, just for testing purposes, obviously. And well, this game was using like 16 gigs in this level, and in other levels it could go up to 24 gigabytes. It was insanely high RAM usage. It was ridiculously high RAM usage. So that mixed with the VRAM usage, the increased VRAM usage and the pixelated textures, if you don't have a lot of VRAM, well, makes it harder for most systems to keep up. The Steam Deck especially, but I wish we got an option to run it like on Xbox One, which is more compromised when it comes to settings and resolution. It would be nice to be able to try that out, to have an option to use those graphics. Not sure if that's below the low setting on PC. But I think it would be nice to be able to do it as an option, of course. Because if it runs on an Xbox One, I think we can scale it a bit to run on Steam Deck with resolution. Maybe I'm being a little bit too ambitious. But still. Very quickly I'm going to show you 720 instead of 800p, so 26 FPS. One praise that I can give to this game is that it's actually 16:10, not 16:9 forced. Okay, so I'm getting a stretched image. That's okay. Okay, 27 at 720. Okay, I'm going back to 800p once again. We lose 1 or 2 frames. It's not a huge difference. So I'll keep it at 800p because it's basically the same, but you don't get black bars at the top and bottom of the screen. So let's try a different location. This is the beginning of the game basically. So this is not like one of the open world sections. So yeah. We're at a solid 20 something FPS, super cinematic, if I say so myself. So let's try another level. So I now loaded the save in Koboh, which is the second planet. This is the first time I'm here on Steam Deck. And this part is more demanding when it comes to, well, asset streaming. As you can see, that stuff into the distance hasn't loaded properly. It's trying its best. Let it do its thing. And this is the part where it used the most system RAM for me. Again, when I said up to 24 gigabytes of RAM usage, this was the especially noticeable. So yeah, stuff into the distance takes a bit to load. It's probably allocated memory for that. We're using 6 gigs of VRAM, and when it comes to RAM, well, it's starting to fill up. So when it comes to, well, the game running at 24 FPS, apparently we cannot go lower when it comes to the resolution side. So I'm not expecting the game to run any better than this, even with patches. I don't think patches can save this, honestly, unless we get like an Xbox One settings option, which I'm not sure even if it's possible to do that on PC right now. But the fact that it uses so much RAM, so much system RAM, and so much VRAM, I think it would be nice to have those Xbox One and PS4 options. Maybe it's a different build, it probably is. Because those are Jaguar CPU cores, and they don't have that much RAM to work with. Yeah, I mean the PS4 doesn't have a lot of RAM, shared RAM to do something like this. It runs at 30 FPS when running here, actually. I saw a few videos of this level on PS4 and Xbox One, and it can actually hit 30s pretty impressively. So I think if we have those settings like on PS4 and Xbox One plus the lower resolution, I think it should be possible to play this on Steam Deck, but I don't think they're going to do that. It's probably a lot of effort for a portable machine. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's not possible. So yeah, Jedi Survivor, basically 24 FPS. We cannot use ultra performance FSR at this resolution because the game has a lower bounds of resolution that we cannot exceed. And just very quickly, because some of you guys asked me to do it in general, is to manually clock the GPU to 1600. So now it's locked to 1600, the CPU is suffering more, but the game is still at 24 FPS. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play it on Steam Deck at all. More patches, of course, are probably coming because this still needs work for what I'm seeing on the PC version, especially that RAM usage. It's stupidly high RAM usage. Again, 24 GB of RAM is excessive. Especially in a game like this. It's not like we're playing GTA 6. And this environment, well, it looks nice, don't get me wrong. It doesn't have, I mean, there's one NPC over there. And then it's not like we have crowds of people like in Cyberpunk. We have this impressive town that some stuff didn't load properly yet. There we go. And we got 2 NPCs. Wow. Yeah, very impressive.
Took a job towing starships. With her back.
So yeah, I think it would be nice to have that Xbox One build, but maybe I'm asking for too much. So today I'm not doing handheld mode, I think. I don't think it's necessary. If the game runs like this, yeah, there's even skips here and there. There's no saving it, I think. So yeah, guys, that's the state of Jedi Survivor on Steam Deck right now. Still unsupported, and well, I think it's correct because performance is absolute dog shit, let's be honest. And there are texture streaming issues. So if we can get an update to get those Xbox One graphics, I will be very happy to check it out, because the CPUs on those machines are very, very slow in comparison. Same with the GPU. I mean, they are more powerful than the GPU on the Steam Deck, but I think it could give us that extra improvement when it comes to performance. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did playing Jedi Survivor at 20 FPS. And I'll see ya next time. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.